You're listening to Bodify Insider from Bodify Functional Fitness.
Muy buenas tardes, muy buenas noches, dependiendo de dónde se encuentren en el podcast. Bienvenidos a Bodify Insider, que hoy tenemos un episodio muy interesante. Como platicábamos, si estaban viendo la transmisión de After Hours, queremos seguir hablando de nutrición y queremos que también ustedes lo escuchen de otras personas que tienen excelente conocimiento, que los pueden también guiar de otra manera, otra perspectiva, otro punto de vista. Entonces, queremos seguir ofreciendo esta información para que ustedes se llenen de más conocimiento y la experiencia con nosotros, con Butterfly, pues sea ahora sí que mejor aún, ¿ok? Es por eso que hoy tenemos una gran invitada y ahorita voy a dejar a mi estimado Pedro que le dé la bienvenida. Así que, pues sí, estamos muy emocionados. Pedro, bienvenido al podcast.
Thank you very much, man. I'm excited about this one. I think for the next few, we're going to be talking about nutrition. Honestly, that's 75% of the questions that I get are regarding nutrition in some way or another. So when Chewy and I were planning this out, we kind of put some things together. And then, I remembered I have a friend that does this for a living. And I kind of want to tell you what we're going to do today, and then I'll invite her in and we can ask her a bunch of questions, put her on the hot seat, and have a little bit of fun.
Okay.
All right. Sound
ready?
Good? Yeah, but let me just today we're tackling one of the biggest challenges our community faces: how to actually eat healthy when you're busy, when you don't cook or are on a budget. We've got an amazing guest, Dara Parker. I don't know if you want to let her in or
and
right,
boom.
Here she is. There's Dara. Hi, Dara. How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let me say a little bit about Dara. She's a certified integrative nutrition health coach, and she's a yoga teacher. She graduated from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition in New York City. So let's give her all a big warm welcome.
Ahí está. We have applauses.
Thank you.
Dara, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
So we have some questions for you. We have a nice conversation today. And like Pete mentioned, a lot of people face the challenge of actually, like for a lot of people, it's hard just to understand nutrition, because in school, like, we don't get educated in any way with nutrition. And I will also say that even probably what we eat at school, it's not the best as well.
Absolutely not.
No.
So it's hard for everyone to just grow and start taking better decisions in what we put in our body and what we eat. And then I get when people get super busy, but it's challenging for some people to get their time managed and then also learn about nutrition and make the right choices for food, no? So my question would be, how would be the best option for people to start getting better decisions when they're limited on time and they go and buy their groceries or buy their food?
So that, I think, is a super loaded question. I think that it's important to know what your goals are. Just like when you walk into a gym, you can't just start, picking up equipment that you don't know what it is or how it works. You kind of have to go in with a goal or have somebody helping you, right? Hiring somebody like a coach in the gym to guide you. But knowing your goal is probably the first step, because I would say that somebody who wants to lose fat is going to want to eat very differently than somebody who's trying to, say, train for a marathon. So that would be the absolute first step. Know what your goal is, and then you can kind of put the building blocks together after that. I don't know how far into like the steps you want me to go. Do you have like specific questions about?
Well, kind of what we do, when somebody comes to us and we first take on a member, we put them on an in-body. We get their in-body, and it kind of says, gives us all the information. I don't want to get too scientific here, but it gives us all the information on how many calories the BMR and stuff like that. And so we kind of make recommendations and how many calories they should be taking in and stuff like that. But a lot of times they tell us like, well, I don't have time to eat, or they always give us those type of excuses. Well, what do I buy and how do I shop for myself? And so my question is like, what are the like 3 simple nutrition habits for people who work like long hours and have crazy schedules? What do you recommend for them to kind of keep it simple, to get to their macro goals? And for most people, it really is about being at a deficit. Kind of the biggest problem is losing a little bit of weight, but keeping their muscle on.
Mhm.
I always preach the importance of keeping muscle.
Absolutely.
You don't want to lose your muscle. And so how do you too much protein? How much protein do I need? Things like that. Can you give us any tips regarding that sort of stuff?
So I'm not a weight loss specialist, so I want to say that up front. I do integrative nutrition, and it's mostly for people who just say in general, like, I don't feel well and I want to start eating better, and they're starting from scratch. So I have a little formula that I like to use, and it's protein, fiber, color. And if you're prioritizing those 3 things in every meal, protein, fiber, and color, the likelihood of you getting the macros you need is high. And then you're also getting the micronutrients that you need, for things like keeping inflammation down, which is what causes most of the health issues that people face today. Also, in terms of like a regular meal, I would say that it would be important to prioritize 30 plus grams of protein. But like I say, that might change for somebody. For me, I'm a woman in my 40s, and I try to get that. No excuses. That's the very first thing I prioritize. And then fiber and color. And ideally, everything on the plate would be food in its most original form. Now, that's hard to do, like you say, for people that are on the go and things like that. But just like you plan, when you're going to go to the gym, what are you going to do at the gym? You don't just show up and say, I guess today I'll hop on a treadmill. You usually have a plan for what you're going to do, upper body, lower body. It's the same with meals. You have to plan. I hear a lot of people say that eating healthy is really expensive. And I usually say to that, it's because you're not planning. A lot of people will just go into the grocery store and decide once they get there what they're going to eat. And it's kind of like walking in a gym and not knowing what to do. So
Right.
For
planning,
example,
go ahead.
you mentioned protein, fiber, and color. What would be like the sources of protein that you will rate like in a scale from 1 to 3? Like let's say A, B, and C.
So when I help my client shop, we stay in the perimeter of the store. Okay. 90% of what your body and what you need is in the perimeter of the store. Produce, meat, dairy, and then you can go into the aisles for things like, olive oil or, seasonings, things like that. But you shouldn't, in general, be spending a whole lot of time in the aisles. You should be able
Mhm.
to get through the grocery store mostly via the perimeter. And so when you ask about protein, anything you can get in the perimeter, eggs, meat, chicken, um, even protein from dairy is great.
Mhm.
But again, it's going to depend on your goals, because if your goals are for fat loss, you're going to want to stick to lean proteins, or egg whites instead of full eggs, so it just kind of depends. But in general, food in its original form is going to be found in the perimeter of the grocery store.
I've heard that before. I was talking to a nutritionist a while back, and it makes sense now that you think about the way, for us, HEB is laid out. You're right. All the important things and the things that are healthier for you are there on the outside of the perimeter of the HEB. That's great. What a great tip. I
When
try
you
to
mentioned fiber, what would be also like a good option of fiber?
So green vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, so still on the perimeter of the store, but you could also do beans, legumes, and grains in their original form if you're not sensitive to those. A lot of people are now. If you have a lot of inflammation, you might feel bad when you eat grains, but in their original form, it would be things like oats, steel cut oats, brown rice, quinoa. Um, I'm trying to think of other things, but basically things in there, almost as original as they come. Like, you're not having to process. Nothing is super processed.
Like sweet potatoes could be one.
Awesome. Yes, sweet potatoes. And those have color. So you're kind of hitting both of those things with
Yeah.
your vegetables and fruits, because fruit has tons of fiber also.
That's one thing that I learned also from a friend. He's a bodybuilder, and he's like super into nutrition. And he told me about the purple sweet potato,
Mm-hmm.
which I was like, oh, like I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
So he told me that it was a great source of carbohydrates, and also so it was like better than the other one. So yes, color. And for example, in going into colors, it would be like bell peppers, something like that.
Any fruit or vegetable.
Mhm.
I think that
Squash.
you can't go wrong with that. And if you look at your plate, in general, most Americans eating what I call the SAD diet, the standard American diet, you're going to have a plate with lots of carbohydrates, mostly processed foods that are very inflammatory. And, that's why we're where we are in America now with the diseases we're facing and things like that. So the more colorful you can make your plate, that usually, obviously not with artificial coloring, like food,
Yeah.
right,
fresh,
real food.
original food, are the things that are great for disease prevention, but also for your health and for getting your body to look the way you want it to look too.
Eh, eh, One last point on the color, and
Okay.
this is my theory. Okay, I just want to see if I'm going in the right direction. The
Uh-huh.
other day, I was looking at the bell peppers, and I go into the red bell peppers, and I see some of them are like dark red, and other ones are like just like more bright. Does the intensity has to do with the nutrition that it has? Like it has more antioxidants or something like that, or
I've never heard of that. I know that you have the organic versus non-organic, which would, the organic usually is less pesticided, so it's not sprayed with pesticides. And so, I would say that if you're looking to shop on a budget, there is a list called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. And you can just focus on buying the Dirty Dozen organic. But in general, to answer your question, the color usually doesn't signify more nutrients or micronutrients or anything like that. So
okay? I
Yeah,
just want to make sure.
I think they're just, honestly, Chewy, I think they're just more ripened. They
maybe.
turn from green to orange to red. Could be. I have no clue, but I think it does kind of affect the vitamins and minerals that it has. You know, when you look at it like a banana, you know, you get, once it's already super ripe, has tons more sugar than when it's green. So something like that, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Well, and a lot of people want to go straight to oranges for things like vitamin C, and actually the red bell pepper has more vitamin C in it than oranges do. So
absolutely, that's very true. And so I like to, you know, when I'm helping somebody or talking to somebody and we're having a casual conversation and they're new to this, I want to keep it simple for most people, you know, like I love what you said, you know, get a nice lean protein, get a lot of color on your plate. You know, I think people do need carbohydrates, you know, especially when you're active, but get them from good sources, complex carbohydrates, and stay away from refined sugars and processed foods. I think as long as you're doing that and you have portion control, I think you're going to be eating a really good diet for the most part. I love when people get to the point where they're tracking their meals and tracking their calories, that sort of stuff. That's a little bit more advanced for some people who are just bringing it on. So I love that, the fact that you said that. I do have one thing. What happens to somebody that doesn't cook? You know, I get this too sometimes. It's like, is there anything that I can do, because we don't cook at my house, or I don't cook, my wife doesn't cook, my husband doesn't cook, we got to eat, and that's where I run into problems. You know, you look for the quick meal, and it's usually at a fast food place. So I understand if you don't have a plan, you're setting yourself up for failure. But is there any kind of recommendations that you could suggest that might help out some people like that?
I have lots of suggestions, but
All right.
one of the things that I will help my clients do is grab a sheet pan, a big sheet pan, and just throw all those things we just talked about on there. Literally put it in the oven, 400 degrees for 20 minutes. Everything cooks at the same time. It's all ready at the same time. You get 4 dishes and you put it all in there and it's ready to go. So for people who say I don't cook, that really doesn't require, you can even use frozen vegetables. They're just as nutritious as food in the produce section. So for somebody who wants to make food at home but doesn't know where to start, sheet pan, like Google sheet pan dinners, and start there. That's the easiest place to start. And then, you know, if 80 to 90% of the time you're eating that, then when you go to Chick-fil-A or, you know, out to eat, just keep in mind, be mindful of what you're putting on your plate: protein, fiber, and color, you know, and try to choose things like, you know, a grilled chicken sandwich with fruit instead of French fries. You're adding that color and that fiber, and you're getting rid of that, you know, the seed oils and the French fries and the, you know, the carbohydrates that are not good for you and all of that. It's a super simple swap, but you're still eating from a drive-through. You know, the only thing that concerns me about that is that, to me, if I can't see what's going into my food, I'm not real sure what's happening in my body either.
Right.
And I think that we're in charge of our own, you know, we're responsible for our health. And so in doing and saying that, I think that we should be responsible for what we're putting in them too. And so knowing what you're putting in your body is super empowering.
Yeah, you don't know how they, you know, if you've ever worked in a restaurant, they're finishing it off with butter. They're putting a ton of salt. They're using ingredients that are not the healthiest for you. They just taste good, you know, and they're hitting those taste buds. So it's always better to cook your own food, for sure.
And then, okay, let's do this. I'm gonna say one thing that is my go-to, and Pete is gonna say his.
Okay.
And that is gonna be, okay, this is better than that one.
Okay.
Okay. So my
is this
go-to.
healthy food? Are we
Like,
talking healthy food?
there
Or are we
you go.
talking like
Well,
we're talking some
go-to.
shit
It's
tacos
like,
right
well, that's where I think that is gonna give us a very feedback. Like you know, Chu, you're like you need a sape. Like stop doing that. Okay, something like that.
now? Okay,
So
let me hear yours. Let me hear
for
yours.
example, in my case, I like to go to Taco Tote and I just get a sirloin taco, like 2 sirloin tacos, and that's my go-to. Like
What
quick.
kind of tortilla? Corn or
It's
flour? Okay.
corn tortilla. Okay,
Okay.
so that's
Okay.
my go-to.
Okay. If I eat out, me and Gabby have a few places that we'll eat out. And
Be honest.
be honest, if I go to a taco place, I swear it's either chicken fajita on a corn tortilla or I'll go fajita on a corn tortilla. Always, you
Mhm.
know, just that. And I don't
How
get any
many?
other stuff. A lot. But I need a lot. I need a lot. Gabby's better. She does it on lettuce
Mhm.
wrap. So she makes it a little bit better. Or we'll do like a ceviche and keep it simple.
Oh,
And
great.
you know, that's always those are kind of our go-to, unless we're picking up a sandwich or something. But we tend to eat pretty good. I'm gonna win, Chewy. Mine's better.
Okay,
I was
Dara.
gonna say I've seen the way Gabby eats, so she's doing
Uh,
good. But I both of those I would say corn tortilla. I would probably go for the chicken,
Okay.
just because it's leaner, and usually less. They usually use less grease, oil for the chicken. Um, and then where are you going to get your color? Cilantro's great. Add a
Pico
bunch.
de gallo.
Pico de gallo.
There you
That's what I
go.
was gonna say.
Just make sure you add, some of that to add the color. And I think, in general, that's, 10% of the time, then it's fine. I think the problem occurs when it's every single day.
Exactly.
Um, and that becomes more of a habit than trying to make better choices. And I always say, like, every time you put something in your mouth, every time you eat, you're either harming or you're helping.
Yeah,
And so,
I like that.
after I learned that, every time I look at my plate, I have to make a decision. Is this worth it or not? And for me, because of my history with Lyme disease, I want to help my body. I'm trying to heal it with what I'm eating rather than harm. So,
Absolutely, it is. It's medicine. You know,
yes, for
it
sure.
it really is. I mean, what you're putting in your body is that important. So it doesn't surprise me, but I want to put it out there that what you're putting in your body matters. You can't out exercise a horrible diet. It's just as important, if not more important, to focus on what you're putting inside your body, for sure.
Yeah.
I got you have another question, or is it
No, no,
my
no. Go,
turn?
go, go, go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I got a good one here for you. What are 2 or 3 affordable foods that everyone should keep in their kitchen?
Um,
Your top 2 or 3. Just
like for meals or snacks or just in general?
either one, whatever. Snacks. Let's go snacks, because I think that's people have a big problem with snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Eggs for sure, because you can cook them all kinds of different ways. You can scramble them, hard boiled. They're super
Sure.
nutritious, micronutrients, healthy fats, protein. You have to eat a lot of eggs to get 30 grams of protein. But, you could supplement with something like cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese.
That's Chewy's new favorite. Cottage
Yes.
cheese.
Yeah.
Yes, that's one of my go-tos because I love eggs, but they just don't have tons of protein. So that helps. Greek yogurt for sure.
Yeah.
Greek
Okay.
non-fat Greek yogurt.
You can even substitute the Greek yogurt for stuff like sour cream, and you can kind of. I've seen some recipes use Greek yogurt instead of stuff like that.
Yes.
Some of your
Yeah, I
recipes.
use that to make dressings. I'm trying to think. We eat a lot of chicken sausage just because it's super easy to cook and it tastes
Mm,
good.
sure.
Lots of protein. You can use it for like wraps, for salads, for sheet pans, and that's good for snacks and for meals. Salmon or tuna, super high in protein, easy to eat with like crackers or even cheese, Parmesan cheese crackers if you're trying not to do the processed carbs. Um, I like those instead of chips or crackers. I don't know. How many more do you want?
Oh, you got it. That was good. That was good. I agree with 100%, and we do keep a bunch of that stuff here. So I agree with you 100%. Just keep things that are nutritious and that are easy to make or are already like just
Or made.
simple. Yes, or made.
They
That
are the
way,
ingredient those ingredients are the ingredients. You
yes,
don't have to be checking well, with yogurt, you need to be careful because there's a lot. Usually, I just get plain, but if you're
right.
getting flavored ones, you have to be careful with added
Yeah,
sugars and
sugar.
things. But what we talked about: yogurt, fruit, tuna, all of those things are the ingredients. You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about checking what else is in there. So,
How about sweet tooth people that got, is there anything that you would recommend that's as nutritious as can be that will solve that issue for some of our listeners?
um, I don't love protein powder, but you can make a lot of really delicious things with it. So
Sure.
you can mix like chocolate protein powder with Greek yogurt and it makes pudding, delicious pudding.
Mm.
A chia pudding is really easy to make.
Cool.
I'm trying to think, and I have recipes for this on my website too, for that chia pudding. And just 70% or more dark chocolate that doesn't have tons of added sugar is actually really beneficial for your
Yeah.
brain too. So I love that.
Yeah, you just got to stay away from the crap they sell at the Stripes.
Yes,
That's
for sure. You got to go
yeah,
to HEB and find really look at the
right,
ingredients and become an investigator. But
for sure. Oh,
yes,
there's the website right there. So
there it is.
you
Yeah.
can check out Dara's website and get a bunch of tips and stuff there.
Awesome.
Oh, wait. We might have a visitor. Come here. Come on. Yeah, you come here. Come say hi. Okay. I got somebody here for you, Dara.
I sent her a message.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's the first time Gabby on the podcast.
I know you're the first one to bring her, Dara. She never joins me on these things, and
Had to be on for her to come.
exactly. So thank you for that. All right.
Okay, and Dara, do you have any recommendations on, for example, for people, how can they make healthy eating sustainable and without feeling restricted?
I don't feel restricted. I mean, I still eat like we talked about. If you're hungry and you want a taco, like have it and make a little bit of a better choice. I think that once you become too restrictive, that's when it's unsustainable. That's actually when it
Yeah.
becomes unsustainable, when you get too restrictive. But if, like I said, 80 or 90% of the time you're eating for your goals, and keeping it simple. Like if a recipe has more than like 5 ingredients or 5 steps, I'm probably not making it.
Right.
So, I protein, fiber, and color, like I'm checking the boxes and finding the easiest ways to make things in 5 steps or less.
Yes, you have to
One
keep it.
one of the things that I usually tell our members, it's, for example, and we have the consultations after their in-body.
Mhm.
So we give them recommendations on better options of protein, carbohydrates, and all that stuff. And I usually tell them like this, like, now you probably have in your head, like, don't tell me, like, 3 things that you know they're bad for you.
Mhm.
So I want you to get one of them, like get rid of it, and
Mm.
the other two just like lower the amount of time you eat them, because you cannot do a 360 change in your diet from one day to another, because you're gonna struggle. Like, you're gonna have a hard time to get that
It's
reward for
setting you up for
yourself.
failure for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
So I would ask them to get one out of the way, and then the rest of the other ones, like, slowly start fading them out, and obviously substitute them with better options.
Yes. I think like if you tell somebody to start tracking their food every day and count calories and count carbs and count, you're going to lose them. I mean, you'd lose me for sure. So, I mean, I think it's important to do one thing at a time. And if most of your clients are focused on fat loss, which, I feel like that's what you hear the most,
Right.
then starting with just count your protein. Just
Right.
make sure that at every single meal you're having 30 plus grams of protein. And because after a while, after you do that for a week or two, you know what that looks like.
Exactly.
You can go on to the next thing. Okay. Like for me, again, a woman in my 40s, perimenopause, I need to watch my blood sugar intake. Now, for the first time in my life, I'm having to actually count carbs. I've never done that before.
Right.
I've always counted protein and fat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I need to watch my blood sugar. And so I'm counting carbs now. I try to stay under about 40 to 50 carbs, but I don't have to focus on the protein anymore because I've been doing that for so long that it's kind of just, that's a habit for me already. And so I'm learning this new habit of like checking the labels for carbs and taking out the dietary fiber. And like, this is a new thing that's exciting for me because I've never done it.
Are you
Yeah.
using any specific app?
I just use my Fitbit app, or
Okay.
I have the Aura ring, and so I'll plug in the food, or like you can take a picture and it'll tell you, it'll
Yes.
estimate how many carbs or whatever. So I keep it super simple, but I'm not doing all the things at once. Today for the next few months I'm focused on carbs, but that's because I've already done the protein and I know what that looks like. It becomes kind of like riding a bike,
Absolutely.
just one thing at a time. And the reality is that when you're getting enough protein and fiber and color, you're going to be satiated. And so even if you want something small for dessert, you're already going to be so satiated from the food that it's probably not going to wreck your diet. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it comes back to it. I think we've mentioned it a million times. Is you got to keep it simple, especially at the beginning, because like we've talked about it before. Now I can look at a plate and I know how much protein, how much carbs, and how much fat it is, just out of experience, and it takes a little while to get there, but then it becomes your routine, and it's not that hard, and it's at the beginning, but that's where giving it importance, and learning little by little how these foods affect your body, how you feel when you're eating certain foods compared to how you felt when you were eating out all the time. All of those things, over time, I think you can't do it all at once. It's the biggest thing I think I try to tell people, especially at the beginning, for sure.
For sure. And now with AI and Chat
Yes.
GPT, like you can take a picture of your plate and it'll tell you everything you want to know. I mean, when we
Right.
started doing this a while back, we had to I was with like my planner and like counting macros, and like we don't have to do that anymore. The phone will do it for you. So there's really no excuse for not at least like for awareness,
Right.
right? Like, okay, becoming more aware with what you're actually eating and how it's, like you say, affecting you.
For sure.
So
For sure. Yeah. AI has really made it so much easier. I use it all the time, for many different reasons, but even with nutrition, it just makes, you take a picture of it. Like you said, it's great. It's unbelievable. I do have one question. I think somebody mentioned it here, but it does come up does eating more times during the day, smaller meals, what are your thoughts on that? Or is it just overall how many calories, two big meals, 6 smaller meals? What do you like to do?
I like to listen to my body.
All right.
When I eat 3 satiating meals, I feel I'm not hungry in between. And if I am, I will, supplement with something like a protein shake or a Greek yogurt with fruit or something. But in general, I think when you're really prioritizing those 3 meals, um, you know,
Yeah.
I don't think if you focus so much on eating 6 meals and you're not even hungry for 6 meals, you're not really even giving your body what it's asking for. You're following somebody else's plan for you.
Right.
And what super healing and helpful for me could be poisonous for you.
Right.
I mean, it could harm you or
Yeah,
ruin your
everybody's different. We all react differently to. I'm 2 or 3 meals a day, and that's worked for me for years, and that's when I feel my best. So some people 6 times, it really is a personal, but that's where playing with it and seeing how your body actually reacts, I think, is very important. It's not one size fits all for everybody. So
it's super individualized, and this is where I take issue with people saying like these videos of what I eat in a day, because it's going to be different. And also, like, what time are you working out, right? Like, I work out first thing in the morning, so for example, I take my creatine and my coffee first thing in the morning, and I feel great and I'm ready. But other people take it after their workout with a meal, and when I do that, I feel bloated and heavy. So,
right.
I mean, it's important. When I work with clients, we don't just like list the things we're eating. It's also, how do you feel emotionally, physically? How is your energy? How did you sleep that night? Because food it's all connected, and it affects everything. So
Hydration
Absolutely.
as well.
hydration is huge. Yes.
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 Some people think they're hungry and it's just that they haven't drank water all day or haven't hydrated all day. So yeah, big thing for sure.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. We got a couple minutes left.
Yeah. Should we go to the rapid fire questions?
Yes. Let's get it with some rapid fire. Oh, Dara.
I better drink some water. Hold on.
Yeah. Let's both. Hydrate, guys. Hydrate. Chewy, you're not hydrating, bro. Come on.
Mine is like over there.
Okay. You hydrate later.
Yes.
All right. Rapid fire. Are you going to start or me?
I'll start.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 1. Okay. We're going to give you a couple of questions and you just pick one for yourself. Okay.
Okay.
Go to healthy snack.
Greek yogurt with fruit.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Easy. That was quick.
One food you will never give up.
Tacos.
Yes.
I love them.
Rain. They're king.
I love them. I mean, yeah. You can't. I can't. I love them.
Yeah, it's in our blood, Dara.
It is.
Our blood.
It is. I try and I use like shrimp and fish and other thing, but there's nothing like just a
Nope.
good fajita taco.
Absolutely. All day for sure. Love
Yeah.
it. Corn tortilla though.
Corn tortillas with
Okay.
pico.
With
Nice.
pico, exactly. All right. I got first thing you eat after a workout.
Eggs,
Good.
usually.
I like it.
Okay, favorite indulgence meal.
That's a hard one. I don't know. Like Mexican food usually, because I mean, where I live, I can't find any good Mexican food. So if I can find it, it's usually, chips and salsa or chips and
Yeah.
something.
Some good old Mexican food for
Yes.
sure. Reminds you of grandma for sure.
Yes.
Awesome.
I think that's it. You did
Yes.
great.
Okay. What are your taking points so far, Science? Mine, I love the comment on the colors.
Yes.
Where I left my notes. I left my notes.
Colors, yes. And keeping it simple. I think we said it 10 times at least. It doesn't have to be complicated, guys. And you'll learn as you go. I think that's the biggest thing is it's not one size fits all. Keep it simple. Start simple. It's as simple as protein, color, and a little bit of carbs. I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than that. You will get full and listen to your body.
Mhm.
Awesome. Protein, fiber, and color. That was the my notes that I
That was
made.
your notes.
That's the
Yes.
formula.
There you go.
Which
I love
I can tell you, I make a legit
bragging now, Dara. He's bragging.
yes.
I want
I
to
make
hear
like
this.
my ground beef with I always add green bell pepper, red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper. I put some onion and then some what else? Oh, cilantro,
Mhm.
some cilantro on it, and then what else have I been adding? I think that's it on vegetables. And then I always use on the side my sweet potato. I like to cut my sweet potatoes and put them on the air fryer with paprika, and then some cottage cheese.
Mhm.
I'm getting hungry. So that's my go-to right now. Like I've been eating that for the past weeks, and it's super for me. Well, at least for me, it's super easy to cook.
Super easy.
It's like one thing that I can just put on the go, like put it on the microwave and heat it up and get a nice good meal.
Yeah. Anything with ground beef or ground turkey is usually very easy and quick to. Chewy's a good cook. I've eaten some of his food.
Those are the things I always say, cook once and eat at least twice.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, 3 times, if you've made enough. So
Absolutely. Just make for like the whole family and then just
yeah.
eat it yourself.
Yeah.
like that. For example, right now I can tell you like I got my week very well planned.
Mhm.
So I start my morning or like almost morning with a overnight oats.
Mhm.
It has obviously like oats, the protein, milk, chia seeds. I put some cinnamon and some cacao nibs on it. So that's my first meal of the day. Then it's what I just told you, the ground beef with the sweet potato. And then in the afternoon, sometimes if I'm like on the go, I have some boiled eggs. So I can just like snack those. And then once I get home, I probably either eat the same what I ate for lunch, or sometimes I like to have some like fish, some fish, and that's it. That's like my normal.
And the tacos?
Where
Why
did
aren't you
tacos
talking about the tacos?
I can tell you right now, I haven't been eating tacos because I haven't gone to. There's this specific tortilla that I like. It's corn tortilla, and I haven't gone to that place. I don't like the ones they sell at HEB, so that's why I just haven't eaten tortilla lately. But I love tortilla. I like to make my migas, my migas with eggs, or chilaquiles, stuff like that.
Okay,
this
here's
is his version of what I eat in a day. He's doing
yeah, for
Yeah.
real. I know. It's like, okay, we're all hungry now, asshole.
What I eat in a day.
No, that's great. Well, Dara, I know that, and I will put it out there for you, but I know you do consultations, you do cooking presentations. I saw you do meal plans. Um, how do people get in touch with you? I know your Instagram handle or your
Besides the
website.
website.
Yeah, we already put the website, but what's the best way for people to get a hold of you if they want to have a chat?
That's my website has all the links to my social media, but there on the website, they can make a no cost 30-minute consultation just to talk about goals because it's just as much they're just as much interviewing me as I am them, and then we kind of just go from there. But I also just if it's a question, email's great, and my email's on my website too. And yeah, so
Very good. Well,
I
it was
see.
wonderful.
I see you have some recipes,
yeah.
Oh
breakfast,
yeah,
lunch, dinner.
very cool.
Yes, those are on the website, and those are just sometimes people ask me for, like I said, specifically people come to me for anti-inflammatory stuff, and
Yeah.
so those are great go-tos. And there's a chia pudding on there too that's really good for the sweet tooth.
Nice.
Very cool.
I'm gonna share this on our social
Okay,
so people can
perfect.
find the link to your website and they can see all or the great stuff that you can offer them. Okay,
That'd be great. And
Perfect.
maybe I can come do a meal prep session or something
that
fun.
would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be very, very cool. Well, I want to thank you. Guys, listeners, make sure that you follow her on Instagram. Check out her website. Dara, it's always wonderful talking to you and to get to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. So I was excited about today. And hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah.
Hopefully we didn't scare you off.
No. I got to work on my Spanish though, because
Mr. Chuy, he's we do Spanish, English, Spanglish kind of deal here.
Great.
Obviamente hablo mucho mejor español.
That's great.
I try my
for
best.
Everybody, for all the people.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Dara. We'll be talking soon.
Perfecto. Gracias, Dara.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bien,
All right. That was fun.
Buena conversación, gracias, sobre toda la gente que se estuvo por ahí comentando, por ahí veo algunos comentarios, Nutrition Focus, love it, por acá nos dicen, Tony, next step for level everyone up, y por acá creo que fue el comentario que decías, ¿no? Cristina Rodríguez.
Yeah, Cristina, asking about different how many meals per day. Ricardo, the shelves. Yeah, I forgot that somebody had told me that a long time ago. Just stay on the outside, stay on the perimeter. Don't go inside unless it's something very specific. But you can find everything that you need on the outside of your shopping center. So that's pretty cool.
Sí, y por acá también pone David Valdespino quesadillas.
That's his go-to.
Yeah. Por acá en Cristina también decía como en snacks, I think she put cucumbers.
Yeah, cucumbers
con tajín, limón,
No, hombre, bro. Jen, thank you. Well, thank you guys for watching and listening. We are going to have this as a common theme for the next couple. We've already have them planned out. I think hopefully Tony can join us for the next one, at least for a little while, and kind of go over how eating for performance is a little bit different. And and that'll be fun. And after that, I don't remember the one after that, but I'm sure it's nutrition focused.
Sí, va a estar en el calendario y como quiera, cualquier cosa que ustedes piensen también específico que quieran que platiquemos, pónganlo en los comentarios y desde luego pues lo vamos a considerar definitivamente. Si es algo que ustedes quieren escuchar, estamos más que contentos de seguir compartiendo y obviamente pues también tener la oportunidad de invitar a Dara tal vez nuevamente y tener este tipo de conversaciones con gente que también conoce y que nos puede dar otra perspectiva, otros puntos de vista, no nada más lo que dice el loco de Pete o Chuy Cortés, también respaldado por gente que conoce.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Perfecto.
it was fun, man. And the rest of you guys, take advantage of what Spotify has in September. Don't forget, now's the time. If you were looking for a deal, they're not gonna talk me into this shit again. So so now's the time to come try us out and come have some fun with us.
Awesome. Perfecto.
All
Stay
right.
tuned. See you in the next one.
Do some hard shit. Bye, guys. Thank you very much.
This episode was produced by Bodify Functional Fitness.